each and every one of you. Let's fight pace and power for 2022. It's the third day of February. Third day of February, Thursday, the 3rd of February. Good to see each and every one of you. Trust you guys have had a fantastic day wherever you are. Welcome in the ring. And I'm eager to see who is joining us. Folks like Joan Stephanie is here. Joan, welcome in the ring. And we trust you have had a great, big, fantastic day. Who expects Joan Stephanie? Good to see you. Isabella Butters. And I see also Alishir Greenwich. Let's fight, guys. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see each and every one of you. Y'all hear the bell? The bell is coming. So useful. Carol Prince and Pollyann, Volme Wilson, Doreen Clark, Angela, Lily Gulliver. Good to see all of you guys. Would have it no other way. Guys, what kind of day did you have today? What kind of day did you guys have? Really great to see each and every one of you. Good to see you guys. I'm ready to get to the fight card. Waiting to see some of you, because we want y'all tell us to go no information when we start, and then you guys are late. We have the fight card ready, fired up, guys, at our end, and ready to go. Good to see each and every one of you. Joycelyn Richards, Horace Thomas, Janet Edwards, Loretta Argyle is here, Esteline Sinclair, Alicia Campbell is here as well, Yvonne Lammy, Yvonne Benjamin, Susan Marshall, good evening to you. Good evening, Susan. Jamal Jordan is here as well. Kasham is up in the place. Patricia Kisoon here too. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Good to see each and every one of you. You know, when we ring this bell, we hope people don't, who are outside the studio, don't think we here walking over here. You hear a bell ringing at 8 o'clock, you're like, what happening? What happening? But guys, you know, we just mix it up here in the ring. We just mix things up. We are fired up, guys, and we are ready to go. You know, if we start, some of you guys are going to miss some important things. So let us just double check at our end that we have everything that we need to have. Just double checking at our end that we got everything we need to have. We just double checking, guys. Don't vex it. We just double checking that we got everything that we need to have. Hold on. Making sure some of the stuff we gotta take out. Just making sure. Good to see you guys as we hold, guys, right ahead into the fight card. Ensure that you share the live stream, that you smash that emoji button. You know, we always ask, guys. We always ask, smash the emoji button. Share the live stream as well. And we are, we're ensuring that all the things are clicking at our end. Folks, coming up, the one and only Amanza Walton-Desir is going to be joining us. Coming up, we have Amanza, who will be joining us coming up. So stay tuned for that. Amanza is going to be joining us, and we are looking forward to having her company a little later on in our program. Looking forward to that, and we've been talking about some other stuff that has been happening at the National Assembly. Today, folks, lots of information to share with you. Share the live stream as you guys come on. How are you guys reading us? Are we a little clear in your television? Is the lighting okay? Is the audio okay? Really good to have each and every one of you guys, and we will have it no other way. Just ensuring all systems are a go at our end. Just ensuring that all systems are a go. We don't want any trouble when we start firing, guys. Fired up and ready to go. Pace and power, guys, and we're so tremendously privileged for all of the kind comments we get. Oftentimes, when we move about the city, we go from one place to the next. People keep supporting us and keep encouraging us to keep going, and we are so grateful, so very grateful for that. Again, just ensuring that all things are clicking well at our end. We want no trouble. We want no trouble at all. No trouble at all. And just making sure we got quite a couple of videos to pass your way. Guys, are you ready? You ready to bomber? You guys ready to chill with the big boys? Are you ready, folks? Are you ready? I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready at my end. I am so happy to see Albert Morgan. So happy to see Joylyn Cook. So happy to see Deshaun and Shondell, Margaret Craig. So happy to see Volme Wilson and Karen Gordon. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. What do you guys think about the bell? Good to see you guys. Ready to go, guys. Ready to go. Ready to go. Karen Smith, we see you. Karen Gordon. John Raymond is here too. Harriet Wilson. Harriet, how are you doing? Respect and manners, Harriet. Respect and manners. Pamela Dover is here as well. Pamela Dover is here. Susan Marshall is here too. Cheryl Gillis. Guys, wherever you're joining us from, if you guys are joining us on Twitter, you guys are joining us on Facebook, the Blue app, you guys are joining us on YouTube. Share those pages where you're joining us from. Follow if you can. Follow if you can. Share the broadcast. Smash that emojis. Those of you following us on YouTube, ensure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you are kept informed, kept posted with all the news and information. As soon as we go live, you're going to get a notification, and so you always up to date on that end. Lester Williams, good to see you. Jamal Jordan, good to see you. Paul Bourne, good to see you. Guys, I don't know about you, but if you are, I am ready to get to the fight card. Marina London, big shout out to you, Marina London. A big shout out to Marina Atala Wade Duncan, the woman who was lucky enough to marry me. I'm not going to hear the end of that later on. Respect and manners to you as well. All the folks joining us this evening, respect and manners. Respect and manners, Maria London. Good to see all of you folks. I'm ready to get into the fight card. And as I said, Amanza Walton-Desir is going to be joining us a little later on in the program. Coming up, folks, you'd have that on the coming up, the one and only Amanza Walton-Desir. Coming up. Amanza Walton-Desir. Coming up on the program, I would have you know, is the one and only Amanza Walton-Desir. Coming up. The one and only. You know, she spent the morning with us on our morning programs. For your information, FYI, Amanza spent the morning with us. We had quite a few laughs. That program is still on the page if you want to go back and look at it later on. That is available to you as well. But coming up, the one and only Amanza Walton-Desir. I love the clarity of this camera. I think I really love it. Thanks, guys, for making us look good out there. As we said, we're going to be joined a little later on in the program by the one and only Amanza Walton-Desir. That being said, folks, I don't know about you, but I am ready to get right into the fight card. And let's go where that is concerned. We're starting, folks. Where are we starting this evening? Let me see. Where are we starting? Yes, we're starting with some information from around the world, but which impacts each and every one. Look what's happening with ExxonMobil. Look what's happening with ExxonMobil in the oil and gas field. ExxonMobil, look what's happening. ExxonMobil, like things tight by them. Apparently, things tight by them, boys. Look what is happening where ExxonMobil is concerned. They are saying that they are in a cost-cutting restructure. Yes, ExxonMobil, y'all think it's only y'all things tight with them as well. And so we're picking up this information from CNBC, and it suggests, folks, according to CNBC, ExxonMobil just last Monday disclosed a sweeping restructuring of its global operations that will continue its refining and chemical businesses into one, that will combine rather its chemical and refining businesses into one, and put its energy transition business on the same footing as its other operation. The broad restructuring marks its latest cost-cutting efforts after activist investors seeking to boost returns and address the energy transition won 3 seats last spring on its board. And so we're being made to understand that serious cost-cutting restructuring is happening now in Exxon, and they're actually going to be moving, according to this report out of CNBC, they're actually going to be moving and relocating from its corporate headquarters in Irving, Texas, to its campus north of Houston. So they are moving from Irving, Texas to Houston, Texas. The move is expected to be completed by mid-2023. Who knew? Things tight with ExxonMobil too, and they are restructuring what's happening at there. And I know, guys, that has implications to us here. I want you all to know that This got implications for us here. Them boys need money. Them boys need money. So things might be more tight here. Because if things tight with Exxon, and Exxon got to be moving, imagine how the rest of us are going to fare. That's what the boy is telling us. Imagine how the rest of us are going to fare. So that's what's happening internationally. But as I said, has implications for each and every one of us. Has implications for each and every one of us. Welcome in the ring, folks. It has implications for each and every one of us. So that's what's happening on the international front. And let's come a bit closer to home now, guys. You know, once you come by recess, it's tech ups. How it going? Oftentimes we show you guys some stories and we show you how it went, but we don't often get a chance to give you an update and show you guys how it is going. And that, precisely that, is what we want to do this evening. For instance, with this story, you all remember the fella that killed his stepson, and then he fled, and the police found him. I think it was in Mahika, dressed as a woman. You all remember that fella? Well, today, Sean Bob was remanded for murder of his stepson. And the story was told that he got home and his spouse wasn't finished cooking. He wasn't finished cooking and he started to abuse her. The stepson intervened and he stabbed the stepson. Sean Bob fled the scene and was apprehended later on by police who found him dressed as a woman, trying to disguise. You can imagine that? If you can do the time, folks, don't do the crime. So that was Sean Bob. And that he was apprehended just over the last weekend. The matter, of course, occurred last week. He was apprehended last weekend, and now he has been remanded for murder. He has been remanded for murder. Folks, again. If you can do the time, don't do the crime. You can do the time. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. I even think we have some footage when Sean Bob made his court appearance just today. I think we have some footage of that, guys. Again, those of you who are sharing the live stream, let's be active. Don't just come and you're just watching, you're engrossed. Share the live stream. We want to see those emojis as well. Hear what happened with Sean Bob as he made his court appearance just today. Take a look, folks. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look. That insert, ladies and gentlemen, had no audio in it. So don't slap up your smartphone or your smart television. It had no audio in it, but that was Sean Bob, again, who, as the charge was read to him, is on remand for murder of his stepson. Yep, and that is how that is going. The other story we told you guys about was just over the last few hours. That horrific crash at Mahika. That horrific crash at Mahika, folks. And this is how that is going. The family of Sharita Prasad, the young woman who lost her life there in that horrific police chase that ended up into that crash, her family is blaming the police. They are blaming the police. Sharita Prasad's family, they are blaming the police for what transpired there and asking for a thorough investigation. She was just 16 years old, made her debut in the National Youth Parliament just last year, and coincidentally, ominously, was speaking on the whole theme of road safety, using the roads with care, and then would have lost her life within the last 24 hours in this horrific crash on the Mahika Bridge there. The vehicle that she was a passenger in was being pursued by police, and we saw some of what transpired on the Mahika Bridge. And her family, again, they're blaming the police and they're asking for a very thorough investigation. Such a pretty young woman, her whole life ahead of her, 16 years old, and has transitioned life. And our thoughts and prayers again are with her family, her loved ones, and all those who cared about her schoolmates, and so forth. guys. Our thoughts and prayers are with them at this time. And that's how that is going, folks. We covered this last evening in our program. I think we have one other news item on this. Well, live from Lusignan. Live from Lusignan. Folks, Lusignan prison must be the only prison of its kind in nature and quality in the world. Lusignan prison. Yep, live from Lusignan prison. You know them prisoners there and easy. They go on their cell phones, they shoot live videos, they're photographed with huge amounts of money and all kinds of things there. It's never, I guess, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment at Lusignan prison. And just today, this came across our radars. Just today. Yeah, this fella here, Kavin Singh, Ravin Singh. Yes, Kavin Singh just left the prison. He didn't escape. The man just left. You just go and come there. You just go and you come there. That's what's happened. It's like a short time. You know what short time is? It's like a short time. You just go and come as you please. So Kevin has left, right? The guy said that he left through an opening in the fence. You know, they have all these fancy euphemism. Nadia Seafort and Chanel Smith Daniels. Chanel, I've missed you. Hold on. I know you want to know the story about this guy. Chanel, let me focus on Chanel. Chanel. Don't get people accustomed to you coming wrong here and then you go missing for 3 weeks and all these things. Chanel, we miss you. Good? Whatever money you owe us, we forgive you. You could come wrong better now. Back to the news at hand. Kevin Singh just left. That is how, folks, this is the only show of its kind in the world. The only show of this nature and quality of its kind in the world. You people just do anything there at Lusignan prison. So this fellow just left. That is the information we're picking up on this one. Kevin Singh just left. Let me see if we have anything else we needed to share with you. Let me refer to my notes. At least I get into problem. Refer to notes. That is all we have on that front. The fellow just left. So we're watching and waiting to see what else transpires here. When he can come back. You just probably go home, take a bath and so, get down and dirty and so forth. And then when you're fed up, you just go back. So this is what is happening live from Lusignan prison. Kevin Singh has left. And they will tell us when he returned. Yep, Naomi Drucker. That's what's happening. That is what's happening. Kevin Singh. Live from Lusignan. That's what's happening on that front. Moving on the fight card, folks. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. You see I'm shaking around here? Respect and manners. It is not often we see a story. Really and truly, we struggle for human interest stories. We struggle for them because there's so much other stuff that happens locally. But respect and manners, where this next story is concerned. And the person and persons involved in the story. Now, when we set it up like that, y'all saying, Duncan, just go on quick. Let me see who. Well, hold on, man. Hold on. Everything rush? Y'all's in microwave generation. Some things you got to take your time over. Must ask your grandparents. Gwyneth Jones, you come late. You buying dinner. Gwyneth, you come late. You buying dinner. Some things you can't rush everything, Some things got to take time. Respect and manners, though. Respect and manners. Here is this other story we are following, folks. Here's this other story. A GDF medic is credited as having delivered a baby boy. The mother was en route to the hospital and needed some help. And the GDF medic stepped in. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. And here's some additional details to this story. Respect and manners. Yep. Respect and manners. It is said that a grade 3 medic of the Ghana Defense Force on Wednesday delivered a baby boy as the mother was en route to Diamond Hospital. Corporal Dominic Gonzalez Cebola, a grade 2 medic attached to the medical center at Base Camp Stevenson, Chameri, welcomed the baby boy into the world in the presence of his parents at approximately 1844 hours, right? Quite recently. This was on Friday, January the 28th. Yep. The mother, Janika Hunt of Hyde Park to Mary, visited the medical center complaining of labor pains and was prepared by Corporal Sabola, who was assisted by Lance Corporal and Grade 3 medic Sheena Christian Waite. Right? According to them, we prepared her and had started the journey to the Diamond Hospital. Just a few minutes into the journey, her water broke. Wow. Pashai, as Chinese people would say. And the baby was ready to come. I did the delivery, and then we took our time and continued to the journey to the hospital. They make it seem like it's so easy. The mother and baby were handed over to the nurses at the maternity ward at Diamond Hospital in good health. Corporal Sabola enlisted in the Guyana Defense Force April 2013. He has successfully completed his grade 3 and his grade 2 medical assistant courses, and he has also successfully completed the infectious disease and combat lifesaver training, as well as self-aid and body care and all these other fantastic things that you need to be in the army as a medic. So respect and manners to Corporal Dominic Gonzalez Sabola. Dominic Gonzalez Sabola. Respect and manners, folks. They made it seem so easy. Monica Jones, what if that was you? What if that was you? Shaboni Semple, what if that was you there? Colette, Dennis King, what if that was you? Thousands of you are watching us. Why don't you take the opportunity and share the live stream? Share our program in the ring. Those of you who haven't done so yet, and we want to see those emojis as we say respect and manners to Corporal Sabola. Respect and manners. Moving on in the fight card, folks. Moving on. COVID surge. Frank name is calling. Moving on in the fight card. Frank name is calling. Look what's happening. 0 deaths today. Thanks be to God. 0 deaths. But 291 new confirmed cases. 291 too many, folks. 291. Frank name calling. You know, this thing has eluded them. They've given up where this is concerned. They have given up. They have abandoned their strategy. And it's now they're heading for herd immunity. Whatever happened now happened is herd immunity. Right? So 0 COVID deaths, thanks be to the heavens. But 291, too many new cases. Ghana is not a real place, people. It's not a real place. It is not. Folks, things tight. Them boys and these out there, they are not easy. Imagine, just today, some children were standing up recently, let me put it in that way. At least my hours are off. Standing up in front of Bishop's High School, the Bishop's High School. I know people are very particular about how you pronounce these upper schools' names. The Bishop's High School. I got somebody in the studio here who went to President's College, PC, Purple Nation. So I got to be very careful. The Bishop's High School. They were standing there as they should be, talking to each other without a care in the world, perhaps waiting to be picked up by the parents. But them boys lurking because things tight. And it seems as though we have lost the battle for the city. It seems as though we have lost the battle for the city. Look what happened when those folks were standing there. Standing there, those young people. Look what happened. You don't think it is in this country, in this town? Take a look. Do we have it? Take a look. Do we have it? Take a look. So let's do our record stick. That video as well did not have song. But did you see the young man come up to the young woman, accosted her, hands in her pocket, perhaps taking her wallet or her phone or something there. Take another look at that. It went by so quickly. Take another look. This is not a real place, you know. It is not a real place. Ben gave up too. Ben has abandoned the job. That's why all this stuff happening. Take a look. And you know what is strange, folks? This area, we have seen people robbed here several times. Several times, but who cares? It wasn't high risk Saturday, so we don't have to have police patrols in that area. You know, if you know the geography of Georgetown, a short distance away from the Bishop's High School is State House. It's State House, about 2 corners away. But the installed Minister of Home Affairs, they've given up. They've given up. They've given up. Crime has gone from them. Gone from them. Gone from them. This country is not a real place, folks. It is not a real place. Look what else is happening. Look what else is happening. The police were called in to this school in Region 6. After what? Let me take some of this graphic off. Let me take some of the graphic off here. Real stuff happening in this place, you know. It's not a real place. Right? Police calling after cutlass wielding individual attacks student at school. Yep, you got it right. Let me give you all some of the information here. We there drinking me water, minding my own business. And then we've learned that police were called in to investigate the circumstances surrounding an incident which occurred at the Vermont's Irving Secondary School in New Amsterdam, Region 6, whereby a former student armed himself with a cutlass and launched an attack against a current pupil of the institution. We've lost our reason in this place. We've lost our reason. Can you imagine that? He just armed himself with a cutlass. And he gone to war. He gone to bomber. Folks, you understand what's happening in this place? You understand what's happening? And look, more crime for us. It is not a real place. Folks, if you stand up one place too long in this country, they're going with you. You know, you got to keep moving. You stand up too long one place, them boys go with you. You got to stay active and keep moving. Look what else transpired today. This young woman going about her business very peacefully. And then booms, them boys gone with her. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. It's not a real place. We tell you folks, it is not a real place. The video is doing their own thing tonight. Y'all think it's a real place? The woman just going her way freely, as the Constitution entitles us, to enjoy free movement, going to work, and then them boys strike. Biggest budget ever, but the budget ain't touching the citizens. We're not safe. The school children, the woman heading to work, them boys just show up to collect the things. They just show up to collect their things, and then when we go and we try to make representation, they can say that we lie. We don't like them, and so we're making up stuff. Some of you missed that. I want to show you guys that again. And we haven't come to the best part in the program yet. We haven't come to the best part. Take a look at that again. What's transpiring on a daily basis, unabated. While the installed Minister of Home Affairs, he gave up. He has given up. Take a look at that again. My. You can't walk in this place. These jagabats and trench crappers coming after you. You can't walk. Father, have mercy. 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 Guyana is not a real place. And to prove conclusively, to prove that men in this country have lost their reason, to prove conclusively, beyond the shadow of a doubt, it's not a real place. Folks, we're taking you guys to the quarantine. We're taking you to the quarantine. This is the mic's picking up every bit of song. We gotta be so careful. I can't even hit my hand on the table. We take you to the quarantine. This is the RDC, the NDC, and NDC on the quarantine, folks. The different in this country. I ain't want to say the different on the quarantine to make you feel as though it's just those people. In this whole country, y'all see what them boys doing in the streets? Since this administration came in, August 2nd, 2020, we different. Respect and manners to them people in the quarantine. Different. I think manners is from the quarantine. Different. This is the overseer at that NDC and two of the councillors. Bear it in mind. It's the overseer and two councillors. Not only is the overseer and two councillors, they're in the NDC building, but we different. I want you to take a look. Them boys want to bamba. Them ain't like Glenlal, they take tacking. They want to chill with the big boys.
Who me? I don't watch people, man. I'm looking for house and land. Who me? I don't watch people things. I's a queen. I have my own king. And some of them stalk the boss like they know it all. Ask them how they get their Gucci purse.
Did that go by too fast for you? She doesn't want people, man. She don't want people thing. This is the overseer on taxpayers' money. And these are councillors. We were advised to listen. At the NDC in quarantine. The different there, boy. The different. You know, I could imagine Ubraja City Hall. Oh, don't take the wheel, father. Snatch the whole vehicle. Take a look at that again. Don't take it easy here. Live from the quarantine. Live.
Who me? I don't watch people, man. I'm looking for house and land. Who me? I don't watch people things. I's a queen. I have my own king. And some of them stalk the boss like they know it all. Ask them how they get their Gucci purse.
Nigel Damlal. Like he gave up, my brother. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development. The time we take to be hung down. Hung down Ubraj Narain. I humbly suggest, I think I might be totally right, but I humbly suggest you take a look at this. I was it one time. Them girls little shine of the side. The little shine.
Who me? I don't watch people, man. I'm looking for house and land. Who me? I don't watch people things. I's a queen. I have my own king. And some of them stalk the boss like they know it all. Ask them how they get their Gucci purse.
Respect about us to the NDC. We see how y'all work hard there, looking after the people's interests. We see how y'all work hard. Respect and manners to y'all. Respect and manners. We see how y'all work hard. But you think that is bad? Look what happened in front of the parliament. People selling wildlife. You know, there are restrictions and there are regulations as to how wildlife is sold. But these guys with these turtles, them okay, in front of the parliament, money got for make. Turtles out. Business got for do. In front of the parliament, where the laws concern the wildlife is made. Them boys outside saying, flap you, Mansour. We can do what we gotta do. And y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do. Because if them people there at the quarantine carrying on, having nice time, what want we do here? So just outside of the National Assembly, people selling wildlife. We different in this country. We different. And that's why I tell you, it's not in the quarantine. It's right in front the National Assembly. People different. But just as we have our guest on, for your information, FYI, and I want to thank all you guys who have been joining our morning program. I almost said morning, our morning program. FYI, for your information, we want to thank you guys. We're going to be back on tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. For your information, Jack Dio, suddenly out of the blues, in the middle of budget debate, they get him beat up bad in the National Assembly. Beat up bad with the arguments. He holds a press conference. There was a meeting happening on one side to give him time to hold this press conference. He's supposed to be in the National Assembly as a member of Parliament, but he holding a press conference during the sitting. That's when you're bad, When you're bad like that, then the speaker got to call a meeting to distract, and you hold a press conference. Right? Your MPs could be in the chamber delivering those arguments to the nation, but nobody ain't got time with them. So he got to come out and hold a press conference talking about a whole set of things. And among the things he said is that they are willing to meet with Aubrey Norton, the leader of the PNCR. They are willing to meet with the leader of the PNCR and opposition leader when he becomes opposition leader, being a member of Parliament in the National Assembly in the not too distant future. They are willing to meet. But we're going to watch to see how that transpires. And that being said, folks, we got some stories loading, but we're going to skip past that. That being said, we're going to pass that because we want to have our guest on this evening, the one and only Amanza Walton-Desir. We want to have her on, and you just need to give us a second so that we can mic her up and get her on the set. The mics are hot. Amanza is going to join us. Damage control them boys doing. Don't let me sugarcoat it. Right? It's really damage control them boys doing. And so you got them coming out trying to have this distraction. Right? Whatever he told us today, he could have told us during his budget contribution. Whatever he's telling us now. But Amanza got a sixth sense. Not the sixth sense like the movie where you see dead people and so on. The sixth sense for these kinds of shenanigans that are happening. So Amanza is going to tell us a little bit about what is happening in her estimation on this one. Folks, I want you to know them boys vex with we. They're vexed. We ain't supposed to get all these people watching we. It's just little Cheryl Duncan and this little show. But I'm grateful with a couple of y'all who's come around. I can tell y'all that. Me lying. I am grateful for the couple of you who come around this program. Very, very grateful. Right? And meanwhile, y'all stop. Right? Because them boys vex. Them thousands of you are watching us this evening. But Amanza understands these issues, and she's going to tell us. She's going to tell us what is happening and why this damage control effort. That's all it is. That is all it is. And I'm privileged to be joined in studio by Amanza. And yep. And guys, look, again, I think you're probably the only person I've ever had on set like this. You know, especially Yep. You better know especially. Folks, Amanza Walton-Desir, the Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs, and also Member of Parliament, of course, Member of Parliament. Amanza, very good evening.
Thank you for having me back, Sherrod. It seems like we've been here
whole day.
Morning, yes.
Morning till night.
We were
Folks,
here this morning, then we went to Parliament.
Yep.
Then we went to Velodrome this afternoon, and now we're back here.
We got to keep fighting.
Yep.
We got to keep fighting. So we saw this press conference just today with the installed Vice President, Bar Jagdio, hurriedly put together, and, he's just pulling issues randomly, trying to gain some traction and really distracting from the budget because they understand the kind of budget it really is. Talk to us about that.
It was damage control. You said it. It was absolutely damage control. I think what they recognized is that they were receiving a pounding in the House because, of course, we kept exposing the budget for exactly what it is. A big business, pro-private sector budget with nothing in it for the working class. And so if you notice how the PPPC operates, whenever they're in trouble, they bring out Jack Deal, because there is this perception that what he says is gospel in some quarters. And the thing that I noted about that press conference was that it was just littered with misrepresentations and half truths. For example, he was at great pains to point out reduced spending on capital expenditure during the coalition, and as if to suggest that the coalition did not spend enough on capital expenditure. Now, what is capital expenditure? It's basically the money the government spends on roads, bridges, to build buildings and so on. And he said that in 2014, if I remember him correctly, I had the figures written down here. In 2014, the PPP spent $81 billion in capital expenditure. Now, you would know that 2014 is the year prior, the last year that they served in government before 2015. He said it was 81 billion. Now, all you had to do was go back to the budget, to the estimates from the previous years, and you will see that the actual money they spent was 51 billion. And so he can't even give us the right figures. The other thing he said was that capital expenditure reduced under the coalition. Absolutely not. You go back to the budget and you can see that that is not the case. You would see that there's a 24% increase every successive year. So I think they are not ready for the fact that there is a group of people now on this side that can go back, check the facts, and bring the truth and the credible information to the nation. The other thing I noticed he said was that we in the coalition like to spend on the recurring side. What does he mean by that? The recurring costs are the salaries, the old age pensions, and so on. He said that it is on that recurring side that all of the corruption is. But you tell me, where is the corruption involved in increasing people's salary and increasing old age pension and giving free tuition to university students? You see, we beg and we got sense, and the vice
Say it
president
again.
must know that these half-baked things that he wants to come with now, it doesn't hold water, Sharon. There's no corruption involved in that. Contrast that with his big projects, the Skeldon Sugar Factory.
Did he talk about that in the
No,
press
he
conference?
didn't. Of course, he
No.
wouldn't.
Okay.
He didn't talk about the fiber optic cable. He didn't talk about FIP Motilal's road to nowhere. Billions of dollars. But he comes to attack the coalition to say we like to spend on the recurring side. The recurring side is about improving people's lives, raising salaries, providing proper public assistance, proper old age pension. So, I don't know. I mean, I figure it's Russia study economics. So.
But Amanza, I think you said it best, that they aren't prepared. The PPP are not prepared for the social media generation.
They're not.
Are not prepared to be fact checked in real time.
In real
To
time.
be responded to in real time. So they
Absolutely.
come and they talk all of this tripe, and they hope that you get the newspaper in 3 weeks' time. And
Right.
the issue has run ahead of us. But we do our homework here. We've said that to you guys, and we're able to fact check them and say, this here is real nonsense you're talking. When they check social media, they see the backlash they're getting for this budget.
Absolutely.
So Irfan Ali comes out before the budget is delivered to give you a sense of what is coming in the budget. And then Ashley Singh presents the budget. Then they see the backlash. Irfan Ali has to come out again last Saturday on a tirade against about all what they're doing and against all of their perceived enemies and why this budget is good for you. They've been checking social media during the course of these debates.
Absolutely.
They continue to see the backlash, and so they got to wheel out Papa Jagabat this afternoon. They got to wheel him out to talk this nonsense.
Yes, and the fact that he is not in the House making these points, it just shows the contempt that he has for the National Assembly, the contempt for the People's Parliament, and the fact that he has a duty to be in Parliament representing the people. Instead of that, he's too big for that. He holds a press conference on the sidelines.
Yeah.
They keep tying themselves up. Today, there was another astonishing admission by Ejil in his attempt to lecture the Guyanese people about something that I raised about not being sure what projects were going to be financed from the NRF. What he did, Sherrod, is that he misrepresented what I said and then attempted to school us on an appropriations bill. But in attempting to school us, what he did was confess what we have been saying, that the idea of the Natural Resources Fund is to preserve um, intergenerational wealth so that we don't use up all of the money on now, but we make sure that it's managed in such a way that our children and our children's children will have money. He come in today to talk about, oh, there'll be an appropriations bill, and then the sugar money, the oil money, the gold money will all go into one pot. That was not the intention. The intention was that the NRF, the National Resource Fund, would be managed in such a way that it would be spent on the developmental priorities. So you're only spending it on developmental projects. And then you had to come to Parliament to receive specific okay for that project. So if you were going to build a bridge, you had to come, bring the project profile to the National Assembly, have it debated on, and Parliament would have had to approve it. He, in his arrogance, today confessed to the Guyanese people that they're doing exactly what they want with the money. So they have already, for all intents and purposes, right now, the NRF is empty because they've withdrawn everything. And they're now saying to the Guyanese people, when they got on social media and promised the people of Guyana on all the news outlets that there will be transparency, Edgel in his arrogance today came and said, you know, we putting everything in here and then we're going to do what we want with it.
You know, I might not be too bright like you, but it seems to me, it has occurred to me, Amanza, that this NRF bill, now an act, might not be worth the paper it is written on. Because I read somewhere in the notations concerning this act that one, you have to have a board that approves the spending.
Yes.
And then there was a committee
Yes.
that looked for the projects
On investment.
Right? None of that has happened.
None of that is there.
The board has not been constituted. The committee has not been constituted. But the money is already being spent. Exactly. What is the purpose of the act then?
I don't know. It's just to say that they're doing something. The purpose of the act is to allow them to have unfettered access to rape the natural resource fund. That is the purpose of the act. Because, Sherrod, look at it. They have removed the powers of the minister and they vested it in the president because the minister could be held accountable for malfeasance, but the president, because of his immunity, can't. So they're very crafty. And then they're relying on their propaganda to sway the Guyanese people. But this is why we are here all day, because we're going to keep bringing the truth to the people of Guyana so that they understand what is at stake. And they understand that they have to fight for their future as well. And let me tell you something. I want the people who they're going to be putting on these boards and as directors to understand.
It's rubber stamps.
It's not only rubber stamps, but the level of scrutiny that their lives are going to come under. When you are managing an oil fund, you are now on the watch list of all the international financial organizations. You, your family, your daughter, your husband, everybody. Because this is serious business.
Yep.
And so, let them go brave. They're opening their lives to a level of scrutiny that I don't know that they're prepared for. So every financial transaction is going to be monitored. You send $2 for your cousin overseas, it's going to be monitored. So this is important business, and we, the Guyanese people, got to understand how important and serious this business is, and we have to act with the requisite seriousness. But we will hold them accountable. Their feet are being held to the fire, and they can't take the heat. So this is why they bring out Jack Dio, because when he says it, apparently it's gospel for them.
But I think like they fall from grace. I see there's a press conference being held and they got about 30 people watching. I don't understand what's happening. I don't understand what is happening with them. I don't understand why you need a whole NCN with nobody's watching. You go on NCN and you look at the amount of shares and their videos and their programs and so forth. You got 3 ministers in NCN and 30 people watching.
Yeah, but then they're spending an inordinate amount of time on programs like yours to try to come in the comments and to dissuade and so on, because they know for a fact that there's credible information here. Look, Juretta has done such a splendid job of dissecting the economics of this budget. Um, oh my goodness, David Patterson this morning was clinical in his delivery. I mean, I sat there and you could hear a pin drop in the house. To imagine
They can't
that
refute any of it.
No, to imagine that they would have given contracts to companies that are blacklisted by the IDB.
Think it.
You understand? They give drug contracts to companies that were blacklisted by the government of Guyana. And they had not an answer for it. They had not an answer.
That's
for
why
it.
we say here the wicked stink and dirty. Dirty. They're wicked, stink, and dirty. That's who they be. That's who they are. There's no other way to put it. When you look and see systematically, and because they are distracted by all the corrupt practices and so on, all the stuff we've outlined during the program is running them up. It's nice time. That's why the overseer at on the quarantine and the councillors are operating like that. Right? It's nice time. It's nice time. The guys are telling me, don't hit the table. The mics are picking up everything. It's nice time. That's why people in front of the parliament selling wildlife. It's nice time. They're distracted and they think, again, democracy is only elections. Once you win, you can do whatever you want to do.
Precisely. And this is why you find them coming back every time to SOPs. And, I heard the most asinine thing this morning. The vice president of this nation sought to tell the Guyanese people that we would have fallen 2 places on the Transparency Index because of the APNU AFC. You are in government for almost 2 clear years, but it is our fault. And he sought to tie it to the PAC reports that are now being considered. That is not how Transparency International arrives at their
You understand why
index.
it's Papa Jack about it? You understand for the rest of me watching
That is not how you arrive. They arrive at it from IMF reports, IDB reports, a whole. So for Jagdeo to go there to say that this is as a result of the PAC, no, it is such drivel.
It's bullshit. Let me call it what it is. It's bullshit.
I don't understand.
Hear my aunt saying, watch my language. Right, go ahead, what the hell, man?
I don't understand why they believe that Guyanese people will fall for it. You understand? It is sickening, and I think that as Guyanese, it's time we get together and hold this government accountable. Even if you're PPP, your PNC, your AFC, your APNU, your GAP, wherever you are, understand that you are Guyanese and you have to demand a better standard of life and living for yourself and for your children. You heard Aram Kumar Siraj said that Ashley had to leave to go to Dubai to feed his family.
It's very easy, secure. It's very easy, sir, that we don't have it. But that's a challenge. And when you hear the budget presentation, folks, I admit I may be biased and you might have a different view of it. But those guys, as ministers, sitting ministers, come and talk about everything else on this, like SOPs. 2 years later, we're still talking about SOPs. Time and overtake that in their books, we're still talking about that. They talk about a minister has 30 minutes and then you have an extra 5. They can spend 33 minutes on SOPs.
Like Charles Ramson spoke about everything under the sun except his ministry. He spent 1 minute within his 30 minutes that he was allotted and 2 minutes in his extra 5 to actually talk about youth and sport because they have no plan and they continue to thrive on the fact that sometimes as Guyanese we could be distracted. But I'm saying to us, hold a focus. Do not be distracted by the paparazzi and the posing and the trinkets that they're throwing at you when they are making off with billions of dollars that could feed 750 Guyanese, feed us, house us, clothe us, and provide every Guyanese with a proper standard of living. But they know that we are divided. They know that they're going to have some people that are going to talk about SOPs and whatever. Instead of saying, hey, the man, that's not good enough. You spoke about a youngster that walked from Great Diamond to Little Diamond looking for food.
And they said because
of the APNU?
That is what Bishop Ezra said. I'm happy you brought it up. the Minister for Infrastructure installed Bishop Edgehill. Y'all know he's Bishop. He said that this young man, 6 years old, was walking from Little Diamond to Great Diamond in search of food because at New AFC. Our policies, 3 budgets later, each of them
The biggest ever.
budget ever. And it's we got his family living like that.
And there's another fallacy. They keep saying this is the biggest budget ever, but Sharon, barring some catastrophic event, every budget will be successively larger than the last. It's just the way of things. So to hear them boast about the biggest budget, because they believe that by throwing numbers at the Guyanese people and throwing big numbers, it will mean they're doing big things. Because the reality is that the PPP, they are disrespectful to us. They are disrespectful to the intellect of the Guyanese people. And they're still living in an era where they don't understand people big. They got sense, they can research, and they can ask questions. They ain't ready for this. They're not ready for this information age. They
Correct.
thrive on corruption.
Correct.
They thrive on opaqueness. And they thrive on propaganda. That's all they thrive on. And then when they can't come to you with facts, they start with the personal attacks.
And Amanza, you mentioned something there that is worth repeating. In this, as you said, as you articulated, Papa Jagabat said that this is why they fall on the corruption index. And you said the corruption index is determined by all of these other things. Could you imagine, almost 2 years into an administration, lots of the institutions that are the guardrails, to give oversight and to keep the executive in check have not been set up as yet. Right? You expect to have a high rating on the International Corruption Index? The Corruption Perception Index?
And look, I often say that as Guyanese, we cannot afford to have short memories. Jagdeo said to this nation that if he didn't invest in Skelton, sugar was dead.
Yep.
He said that. And the Guyanese people were lured into giving him the okay to spend billions of dollars. Fast forward, Skelton produce a pound of sugar, and
Nor kilowatt of electricity.
Nor kilowatt of electricity, because remember, we were supposed to produce electricity too. And we are paying back the loan.
And
these same public servants would then give an increase too. We got to pay back the loan.
And we're picking up this bit of information from news source, Big Uncle Gordon, who suggested to us that I want to read the bottom. What they're now going to do, almost 2 years into it, and these guys say they understand governance and they understand all of these other things. It says that they are now going to look at all of these structures, all of the commissions that are yet to be operationalized. And then there's a newsroom story that's newsroom. Again, Jagger says here, according to newsroom, it's them boys. Ghana could slip forward on the on based. What am I reading here, man?
Ghana could start on bias corruption index as AAP and E plus AFC lapses are exposed. Yeah. So this is what this man is
not them.
Shameless.
It's not them. So if we slip, he's already preparing you. They're going to slip further.
Yes. Has nothing to do with the fact that there's not a procurement commission in place.
Correct.
And that the head of the PSIP, the infrastructure program, is the one that is handing out the contracts at the National Procurement and the Board. It has nothing to do with the fact that they have sought to take away the financial autonomy of the constitutional bodies. Has nothing to do with the fact that we got ships flying the flag all over this world, doing all manner
guns and ammunition, trading illegal oil.
Has nothing to do with the fact that we had the biggest drug bust in the history of the world, and not one person has been held accountable for that.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with that.
Yep.
It's the AP and UFC.
And here is the what's the source? News source, Garden source, I was about to say that, saying to us that they're now going to go and talk with the leader of the opposition about the Judicial Service Commission, about the Public Service Commission, the Teaching Service Commission, and you on the nice and flying on the International Corruption Perception Index.
Yep.
Because you bad like them.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Sherrod, this is my abiding concern. The PPP elite, and I keep making the point, when we talk about the PPP, we have to be clear, because in the PPP organization, there's a clear separation between the elite and the supporters that they continue to use for their own ends. So when I talk about the PPP, I'm not talking about our brothers and sisters who support them. I'm talking about that elite group that the money circulates in, that all of the contracts go to. They give their supporters the crumbs that they have to be satisfied with. They have decided and showed us who they are. The question is, what do we as Guyanese people, what will we now do about it? Because we will expose them every night for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
The question remains.
And I got this stamina. We got this
what
stamina.
are the Guyanese people going to do with this information? Are they going to hit the streets saying we demand more? Or are they going to sit down and suffer in silence whilst the overseers got women gyrating on it at their expense? Remember, this is taxpayer money, you know. And just having a grand time whilst our children suffer. It really is up to the people of Guyana to decide.
Them boys ain't easy. Them boys ain't easy, folks. We said this is why we do what we do, because we have to keep getting the information to you, because you cannot make good decisions with bad information or with lack of information. And this is what we are committed to doing on this program and our other programs. We'll be back on tomorrow at 8 in the morning for your information. FYI, join us at 8, and then we're back at 12 below the belt, and then we're back morning, noon, and night. We out here worrying morning, noon, and night. Why don't you consider partnering with us? Thank you, Dave, for bringing up that graphic for us. Why don't you partner with us? I'll do it from our end. Why don't you consider partnering with us, guys, so that we can continue to do this good work? You know, it costs us something to be out here. It costs us something to be out here warring like this, fighting the good fight. We got to do it. We got to do it. And we're asking you guys to come on board. As a man said, we have to move beyond just consuming the information. We can be boots on the ground. We can help the struggle. What are you willing to do for the struggle? Come on board, partner with us, and help us to move from strength to strength and continue to build out our program. It costs us something to give clarity in the mics, to light, to give adequate light, and for internet, and to house the studios and all. It costs something, folks.
I want to say something on this issue of partnering with you and why it is important. This politician in the U.S., AOC, Miss Ocasio-Cortez, her entire operation is funded through small donations from members of the public, because they do not take corporate sponsorship in that amount. So sometimes I laugh when I read people say, oh, and you're asking for money. You do that so that you're not beholden to any corporate agenda, but you could bring the unfiltered and unfettered truth to the people. So I really want to encourage each and every one of you to partner with In the Ring so that we can continue. My brother Sharon, I'm so proud of him. We can continue to bring you credible information.
Thank you, folks. We got Cash App available. It's $sign in the ring 592. We got PayPal. We got Zelle. Both of them are the same email address, in the ring 592 gmail.com. We got MMG 6276963. We're available via MoneyGram, via Western Union as well, guys. You need any guidance on this information, that very MMG number, it's our WhatsApp number as well, 6276963. That's our program, Amanza.
Always a pleasure.
That's our program, guys. Stay safe. We're gonna see you guys soon. You know, the John take off some of the graphics already. But we want to come back in a little bit. I'm going to allow Amanza the opportunity to step off of the set in just a second. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Well, there are some other things that we are looking at and that we want to ensure that we have for you. Thanks. And I want to give some folks a shout out before we go. And Amanza has to remember her mic is hot until we take it off. And I'm going to just come back in for just a second to make sure that our guests don't feel left out. We know how we do things here. Good to see each and every one of you guys. Erica Hooper, thanks for joining us. Amanza, thanks for coming by. Penelope Hudson and Ingrid Crawford. Maxine O'Donnell, Glensis Bingo Board, Good to see each and every one of you. That's how we do things here. People who are new to the program won't understand why. But we value our viewers. We value our viewers. We value our viewers. We value those persons who are loyal to the program, folks. Konoa Mingo, Kim Walker, Betsy Freeze. Is it Silla? Silla, good to see you, Silla. And Janet Edwards, that name is new to me. Rhonda Ferguson, Donna Miller, all of you beautiful, fantastic folks. Rami Leander, Roger, I saw you there. Paul Passad, I saw you there. Wendy, I saw you there. Sheena Hazel, we saw you there as well. Candy Lily and the Jeet folks, continue to help us to move this work forward. Continue to partner with us. We're looking forward for your partnership. And guys, even without that, ensure you share the live stream before you go. Ensure you smash that emoji button. You ain't getting this information every place. You're not going to see it on NCN. You ain't going to see it on GPI. You know that they won't give you all the credible information and the facts, guys. So share the live stream wherever you are as we continue to go from strength to strength with we little program. We big like some of them boys with our little program. Guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. That's our time this evening. That is our time. That's our time. The guys are signaling that we got to go. We got to beat out. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Thanks for joining. Share the program, the live stream, and smash that emoji button as well. Stay safe. Stay safe.